What if I told you guys that after applying to my job and doing my really hard time-consuming code test that I still needed to know if you were worth it, and for you to prove that to me, you'd have to work for free for 2 to 4 weeks, and then I'll think about if I want to hire you on or not. Does that raise any red flags to you guys? There's a company doing exactly this. They give you a very long, time-consuming code test. They even say in the code test, this might look like it'll take some time, and then after that, you have to work for them. The code that you're writing, the work that you're doing for this month or 2 weeks unpaid, they are using it. And to me, that's a scam. So I'm going to expose this company. Put your seatbelts on. Creatella. It says venture builder startup studio. And if you don't know what that means, they're basically a startup that builds other startups. So let's start off with the code test. They are asking you to make an e-commerce store from scratch. You have to use React.js. Down here, they admit that their code test is a lot of work. You're right. With something open-ended like this, you could easily spend a week polishing and getting it just right. We don't expect you to do this, and we'll do our best to make sure you're not disadvantaged by this. So after you do the code test and they approve it or whatever, they give you this Google Doc link, and it's testing period for developers, criteria for assessment, work quality, commitment to deadlines and task completion, quality of reporting, communications and consultations with the lead, learning and growing meaningfully, taking ownership, and being a self-starter. So again, you have to do all of these things for 2 to 4 weeks without being paid. Why would you have commitment to deadlines and task completion if you're not being paid? Now, I've seen some startups do this thing where they bring you in for a day just to see how you'd solve problems, interact with the team, given a real setting. And even that day is paid. For a company to ask you to work for up to an entire month for no money, that seems very fucking scammy. I'm just gonna say it. Don't throw that, well, we're a startup. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Pay people to do work, especially if the work they're doing during this unpaid time you're using to make money from. Candidate best practices. Ask questions when you get blocked. Make sure you understand feedback. Get creative and share your ideas. Don't hesitate to ask for help. The person that I talked to that works here did ask for help. And you know what they told him? They're just like, I can't help you right now. Please come back later. You should be able to solve this yourself. Let's jump down to the bottom and look at their little flow diagram. The team lead will explain the reasons and objectives of the testing period. It says the team lead will not give you larger, overly complex tasks at first. They will be increasing in difficulty over time. After that, your team lead will follow up. The team lead will check up on your progress and assist where necessary and appropriate. The team lead will not spend large amounts of time teaching, coaching. This will come later as candidates demonstrate commitment. This is such fucking bullshit, dude.
You need to show commitment by working for free to us, and then we'll help you do our work that you're not getting paid to do.
You are obviously trying to capitalize on the desperation of people looking to get a job. This shit just pisses me off to no end that these people think that they can get away with this. Let me make it real clear here what the definition of predatory is. Here's the Merriam-Webster definition. Inclined or intended to injure or exploit others for personal gain or profit. Now, if you're not paying someone to do work for a month, yet you're using their work to make money off of it, is that not exploitation? Is it? I mean, it's regardless if they agree to it. Is it? I mean, because you know that you're potentially promising them a job. They're not just agreeing to work for free. They're doing it based on a hypothetical chance that they might work for you. What I think you're doing, you tell people, well, you're gonna have to work for us for 2 to 4 weeks, and then we'll decide if we want to bring you on based on how well you did and how committed you are. And then you just don't hire them because you say, well, you had a lack of commitment. And then you get another person in to finish that person's work. And you just build companies off of unpaid labor. Now, I can't prove any of this. I could be wrong about all of this, but it seems very plausible. It seems like something that you could totally do and get away with it with this business model. By the way, all of this is publicly available, so go look it up for yourself. One thing that I also like to point out here is that you have to apply and do a really long code test before they tell you that you're going to be unpaid for a month. It's like when companies don't post the salary range on the job posting, and then you lie to your boss and tell them that you're sick or that you have a doctor's appointment, and you go spend your time to go to all of these interviews, and you're doing good and you're progressing through, and then you get to the final stage and they offer you less money than what you're making. Isn't that disappointing? Isn't that a waste of everyone's time? You do all this work, you show that you're a good fit, and then they're like, yeah, actually we're gonna offer you half There's an email here that I want to show you, but I can't due to wanting to keep this person anonymous. The person that works there was asking, how much will I be paid if I agree to do this testing period and I agree to sign your NDA? And they basically said to him, well, it's concerning to us that you're more motivated by money than you are just working for us as a candidate. We're looking for someone who's interested in us and what we do and being committed and loyal than someone who just wants money. I hate it when companies do this. I know you guys have seen it, right? If an employer is offended in any way, shape, or form when you ask about compensation, that is a red flag. Do not work for them. Can you imagine if you said something similar to them? I'm interested in learning how your company could progress my ability and skill set in a professional environment more than I'm interested in how much I could maximize your profit margins. Watch how offended they would be then. And then after the company said that, they said, all right, well, if you're not interested, we're just going to keep interviewing other candidates. And that is a subtle way to put pressure on someone who is desperate looking for a job. Like, well, you can either take it or leave it. You could have some potential money in a month or so, if you do good. Otherwise, we're just going to keep interviewing other candidates that want to work for free. And of course, can be like, well, wait, hold on. I was just asking, yeah, whatever. Give me the paper, I'll sign it. And that's exactly what happened here. Now, this person who works there, that's going to remain anonymous, watches the channel, and he knows what to ask for. And I had to tell him, like, look, man, don't be desperate to work for free. You're just going to get taken advantage of, and everything that you want is just going to keep getting pushed further and further and further out because they know that you're willing to do it because there might be money on the other side. Needless to say, he did ask some questions. He tried without trying to be rude to these people. He said, were there any occasions when you didn't hire anyone after the testing phase? And the tech lead person came back and said, well, yeah, well, actually, no. But it happens. It usually happens if they're not committed to us. Now, to me, and a lot of people looking at this from a distance can easily see how predatory this is. People that are caught up in it, people that need money, might not want to see it. They might not want to connect the dots, and I know that happens to a lot of people. They just don't want to believe it. Oh, it's not. They would never do that. I looked it up. They told me everything is going to be good, and then it's not. And then, they don't want to backtrack, but then they feel stuck, and that is what has happened here. That's it for me exposing this piece of shit company. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, click like, click subscribe, share it, make sure other people don't work for free. I'm out.